finished up the wheel wells and got them seriously coated on the inside. Just wanted you to see what the outside looks like too, but those are good to go. Now, that's just the old axle. I don't have the new axle. It's been on order for, I don't know, about a week, and they said it would take 2 to 3 weeks. So, I think my neighbor wants to talk. So as it turns out, my neighbor needed a frame for a trailer, and he found a pop-up, and he tore it apart, and he saved the stove, and he wanted to know if I wanted it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take a look. You never know. Might be good enough for parts, might be good enough to use. I don't know. It's nice of him, though. But back to what I was talking about. So, I don't have the axle for that yet, but I got to keep moving. So I think today, in the vein of telling you how my mind is working, I think I'm going to undercoat this. Just get it undercoated. Then I will put this on, because I don't have wheels, but I think I can put it on a dolly. So it shouldn't be heavy. And dolly it out here, and then power wash it. And then that should be enough time for this to pretty well get dry. It's supposed to warm up a lot today. Then I think I can flip this whole thing over and then put the vinyl on it. And I know what you're thinking. Well, how can you put the vinyl on before you put the carriage bolts in? There are no visible carriage bolts. The only carriage bolts are on the outriggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But there is one right here, but that's right in the front, and there's going to be a board across that will be finished. So it will not make a difference. And worst case scenario, you've got a carriage bolt right there. No problem. You're never going to see it. So that will keep me on schedule, at least for a good part of this day. Not really. That's probably only an hour, 2 hours worth of work. Just waiting for things to dry. But that's where I'll get. But while those two things are happening, then we can go over to the second part. And I can cut the walls out. That's a good idea. So I'll have to go out here. This is just how my mind works. I hope you're following. And I saved not the door side, because there's no door in it to be flimsy or anything. I'll get that put back together, and then I will take it over here where not where Curly is. He's a good boy. I'll have this either moved over there or moved over here. I'll get this table out of the way. And I'll set up over there, and I'll cut the walls out. Yeah. Because then, if I so desired, I could amber shellac the walls, because we're going amber shellac on the walls. And if I still had time left over, we could go on to phase 3. And I can't make the whole thing ceiling, but I can make the front and the back, because it's just going to be 4 feet up either way. I just have to measure for the windows. And I've got the windows. They don't have to be fixed. So then I can put that first part up. Or at least get it, I don't know if I can put it up. I can get it raftered. Where's my rafters are covered up over there. So I can put the rafters on it and let them dry. I think that'll be good for today. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm yammering on here. Let me get on it. That took me 2.5 cans to get that. 2.5 cans, yeah, to get that done. I almost was not going to undercoat it because it's going to a dry climate in New Mexico. And there is some debate over whether you should or should not in those climates. And I wasn't, but then I thought, I've got it here. Let's just be better safe than sorry. Maybe she runs into rain a lot. So, I always see where this edge here seems to always, not just that one, but all of them, seem to be a problem spot. So I go ahead and I just overspray on that edge on the outside. Not the whole thing, but just on the edge. And I think that's going to help. So I got it drying over here, and it's drying pretty quick. I put that fan on it because I don't want to sit around and have nothing to do. So I've got to move Curly and all of this out of the way and see if I can't sneak that frame right through here. I could go right out there, but I don't have water out there. My water is right out there. All right, enough talking about it. Let's do it. So far, I have accomplished what I have wanted to do. I did have to run and get some vinyl adhesive. Start making that undercoated underneath. Got it back in here. Now I've got most of the skin and I got the middle part I'm going to bring in. What I'm going to do now, phase 2, I'm going to pull 3 and they're going to lay all the way across here. 1, 2, 3. 8 foot this way, 4 foot this way. Because if I measure correctly, at its widest point in the middle, it's 141 inches. So we'll need all 144 of the, we can't cut it down. We're going to cut it out. So we'll set that up. Then I will set this on top of it. Either tape it together or maybe even, pop rivet it together so that it is a template. And then I'll cut into phase 2. All right, we're laid out. We're about 1/4 of an inch off the front all the way to the bottom. Ooh, I guess I better trace that out just for posterity. And look here, we're not 2.5 inches right there. Maybe 3. But that's 144 inches. Got my line made. All right, I wasn't giving technical advice on this episode, but let me give a little bit. Remember, we're going to take this skin off. Now, I was thinking about making a template from this, but I think I'll just keep this whole thing. I like it. I'll find a spot for it. Not in the shop, but out back, maybe by the container. Find a way to store it right. But anyway, remember, we have 3/4 of an inch right here all the way around for the ceiling because that's where the rafters go. So when we pull this, then I have to go back around with I usually use 1 inch instead of 3/4 just to allow for any mistakes. 1 inch block, follow this side and then have the pencil on the inside, trace it, and then I don't cut that line. I cut the line that's in here because it will build up the roof and the ceiling to meet out here. So, a little bit of technical advice there. That's all you're getting today. Cool camper. Cool little canned ham. Got a big old booty. That's part of its charm. All right, I'm going to finish up phase 2 here, and we'll see how phase 3 goes.